In a previous job, I did marketing seminars, and one thing I used to always say is that presentation builds connections between the person and the product. And opening this VanPowers box brought that back to my memory because this is a perfect example of someone caring enough to make sure that the presentation is there to build my connection with the product. Now that's a double-edged sword because this does set a standard, a lofty one, that this bike is going to have to meet. To me, this looks like I'm unfurling a kiosk at a trade show. Branding inside of branding, fold that down, and then there's a branded accessory box. And then, of course, the bike. Absolutely beautiful. However, before we get to that, let's open up this accessory box, see if that's, excellent presentation. Let's look through because I suspect everything that a VanPowers bike owner is going to need to get their bike up and running, it will be here. Look at this, ball end hex wrenches. If you're shopping for hex wrenches at a hardware store, you pay extra for ball end. Under that, another layer of stuff. Pretty much everything else you need to get the bike ready. With this headlight and, check this out, a bell. A plastic VanPowers key fob with keys, 2 of them, 2 pedals, and a display. Now, I like this display. It's a special display. You'll see it coming up. But I like that it's packaged inside a box, inside another box with foam packaging. There's also a manual, a large, thick manual, and this other thing. We'll see what that is a little later. And of course, this is an e-bike. We're going to need an e-bike charger. Here's the charger. Here's the cord that goes with the charger. It looks like everything I need is here and in tip-top shape, thanks to the well-thought-out packaging. Assembly is basic. I won't go through it since there's an excellent video on their website that goes through every step. Just know it took me less than 30 minutes to have the bike unboxed and rolling, and that's while having to readjust the camera every few minutes. As far as electrical stuff, there are only 3 connectors that need to be connected, and those are color-coded, practically foolproof, as this fool got through it quickly and without issue. One deviation I took is the included bell. They have a spot for it, but I decided to move things around. Found this orientation fit my hands better. Outside of the actual box itself, I'm still spotting little packaging details. Integrated batteries often dislodge during shipping, and that can wreak havoc on paint. VanPowers added rubbery plastic inserts just in case. Now, unfortunately, you will see 3 small chips in the paint if you look close enough, and that's unfortunate, but I did it within 45 minutes of unboxing what was a perfect bike. Just look at this beauty. It is something to marvel at. This is the UltraGlide Standard, their budget model of the UltraGlide, which is amazing because it looks very expensive. It's not. I'll put the price in the title. Now let's get started going over all the components, everything that makes up the UltraGlide Standard, like these riser sweeping bars. Kind of a mix between cruiser and commuter with their profile, and that profile is adjustable. The UltraGlide has an adjustable stem. It adjusts up to 50 degrees, meaning just about everyone will be able to find an adjustment sweet spot. Bar complements, it is capped with grips. Now there are rubber grips and then there are premium rubber grips. These have a nice silky smooth feel, comfortable to the touch, very comfortable to grip with their comfort grip profile. A lot of palm support. Beside the right grip, a thumb shifter. It is a basic shifter, the shifter for most e-bikes, likely because they're easy to use and reliable. It's a Shimano 7-speed. In front of each grip, alloy brake levers with the ever-important motor cutoff switch, very important on hub-driven e-bikes. On the left side of the bars, the bike's thumb throttle. Now, I like throttles because they give the rider an option. You can let the bike do all the work with the throttle or select from one of the pedal assist settings. All that controllable via the computer display, the color display in the middle of the bars. I'll go into detail on this in a minute. For now, let's move down past the robust barrel shape of the head tube and look at the bike's fork, a suspension fork. No brand, but very familiar looking. It features a preload adjuster and a manual lockout, not really required on an e-bike, but it's nice to have the option. Fork travel ample for city riding, about 80 millimeters. The fork's robust arch is the mount point for both the bike's included front fender and the included headlight. Fender material, thick plastic, a quality plastic. The headlight, tiny but mighty. The front wheel is connected to the fork via the quick release skewer we saw in that accessory box. Easy for tire changes, easy to take the wheel with you if that's your need. The tires, a street tread, size 27.5 by 2.20, but that's a wide 2.20. The spokes black steel, the rims double wall alloy, and depending upon which side you're on, you'll be happy with the Schrader valves. Front fender installed by the owner or whoever unboxes the bike. The rear fender, that comes pre-installed. Straddling that fender, the bike's included and pre-installed rear rack. We'll be coming back to this. Now to some of the core parts, the drivetrain. From a bike perspective, it kicks off with the basic pedals. These are alloy pedals, and as included pedals go, they're decent. No real need to change these for city riding, and they're connected to an alloy crankset, a single chainring alloy crankset with a large but not out of place large chainring. On the opposite side, some e-bike stuff, the bike's cadence sensor. The standard model uses a cadence sensor. The up-tier UltraGlide models have torque sensors, one even a mid-drive. I'm curious if this is a budget afterthought or if they planned it out. We'll find out in the test ride. For now, let's get to the back of the drivetrain, where we see a regular tourney derailleur and a 7-speed freewheel. Behind that freewheel, that's where the fun starts. The rear hub motor. On this UltraGlide Standard, it's a 48-volt, 500-watt hub motor. My expectations are high, so we'll see. For now, there's more to go over. I've already shown you the rear rack. What I might not have mentioned is the capacity of that rack. It's rated at a max load of just over 55 pounds, and that's a good bit. It also has sidebars. That means it's pannier friendly. The rack is mounted to the frame via 3 mount points, and they look robust enough, in my opinion, to handle the weight capacity. The frame itself, I don't have to tell you how good it looks, you can see that for yourself. It's stylish and it has a nice step-through design, and it looks to be as robustly made as that rear rack. I'm told VanPowers spent a lot of time on this frame, and it shows. There are a lot of small details, like this small black block below the seat post clamp, a quick release seat post clamp for the alloy seat post, 30.9 if that matters to you. Mounted to that, a dual spring deeply padded saddle. I'll just go ahead and tell you, this is comfortable. Back to that black block. I don't think it's just a stylish accent, though it does look cool. I believe it's an access panel of some kind, because somewhere in this frame is the bike's speed controller. In amongst the convergence of the battery and the speed controller is the Step-Thru, the height around 15 inches. Frame material aluminum finish. I can't do this lava red justice on camera. In person, it fits the name. Gorgeous, and it shimmers with tiny metallic flake. This particular frame, a small. There are 2 other frame sizes, a medium and a large, and 2 other colors, a gray and green. On the left side of the down tube, 2 ports. The lower is a charge port. The battery can be charged in or out of the bike. The upper, that's for the keyed lock to unlock and remove the battery. Remember those keys with their plastic VanPowers branded key fob? That's where they come in handy. The battery's super easy to remove. Turn the keys to unlock, lift the battery, and remove. If you like to see e-bike guts, well, here's a peep. And here's a look at the battery out of the bike. These are for the connection pins to connect to the bike. There is an integrated charge indicator and a charge port on the opposite side, and the battery specs. Per the VanPowers website, these batteries have LG cells and they are UL listed. And as you can see, a juicy 690 watt hours of charge capacity. Also, per VanPowers, that gets this bike up to 65 miles of range, and that's at speeds up to 20 miles per hour, making this a Class 2 e-bike. 500 watts and 20 miles per hour, the bike will need to be able to stop from that top speed. For that, it is equipped with mechanical disc brakes, brakes with 180 millimeter rotors. We'll go over anything else as I take this for a ride. Let's get that full color display booted up, quit marveling at the beauty, and see if this all comes together to ride as good as it looks. I usually build up to top speed when I'm showing ride footage, but I'm going to get straight to it here. Top speed is claimed to be 20 miles per hour, and that's exactly what this bike can do. The top speed is staggered by pedal assist mode, but at max assist, it will easily do 20 miles per hour. And this is my cadence at 20 miles per hour, no run out of pedal effect. Now this is a cadence sensor e-bike, so I can create my own cadence, just as long as I keep those cranks rotating, whatever speed I want them to rotate at, it will engage the motor. But there is resistance if I try to keep up. As far as the cadence sensor itself, or well, the programming of the cadence sensor, e-bikes overall have been getting really good with the programming. This bike is right up there with the best of them. So little discernible delay that at one point I forgot I wasn't on a torque sensor bike. It's tuned that good. Looking at it from the perspective of it being a bicycle and not an e-bike, it's maneuverable like a commuter bike, and the suspension for it will smooth out all but the roughest city streets, and even the roughest are going to be dampened decently well. Pedal assist speeds up to 20 miles per hour, throttle only also up to 20 miles per hour. And pleasantly, the bike will do 20 miles per hour throttle only, even up some hills. And the transitions are so good. Here's the handoff, coming down one hill and going up another. I can't feel where it switches from riding the coast from the hill assist to taking up with throttle only. You can see it's pulling this hill very well, right at 20 miles per hour. If you want to push it beyond assist and pedal as hard as you can, you're going to cap out at about 24 miles per hour. I've tested the brakes coming off a hill as fast as 31 miles per hour, and they slow it down well. No problems at all stopping this bike even above its assisted speeds. Let's slow things down significantly and get to something this bike does that no throttle-equipped e-bike I've ridden could do: ultra low-speed throttle. Throttle is normally jumpy on an e-bike. This throttle scales, meaning little throttle, little speed, low speed. That's impressive. I talked earlier about going up a small hill at 20 miles per hour, up the big test hill. 500-watt e-bikes keep surprising me. The average e-bike, though, will climb this usually under 8 miles per hour. 6 to 8 miles per hour seems to be the average. I've had a couple that will slow down to around 8 and then slowly pick up 12 to 14 by the time they hit the top. This VanPowers UltraGlide, the UltraGlide Standard, what you're seeing says it all. 13 to 14 up the entire hill. Wow, and that's not pedal assisted, that's throttle only performance. Now, going throttle only will lower your expected ranges. Can tell you that on one test ride, I went 14 miles throttle only and had 57% charge left on the batteries. Meaning for the average rider, even throttle only is going to be more than enough range. VanPowers states up to 65 miles if you use the lower pedal assist settings. So who is this bike best for? Well, any city riding, really. I think it could be the sexiest bike on the campus bike rack if you're looking for a campus cruiser, or a looker of a park cruiser. If you're one of those ritzy types, it will fit in with the rich crowd too. It looks far more expensive than it actually is, meaning thrifty rich people can buy it and the rest of us can too. Fun to ride, easy to mount and dismount thanks to the 15-inch step over, but we're not done. There's a few more details I need to go over, like the display. On a sunny late summer day in Alabama, I've shown this has a color display, but here's the thing about color displays on e-bikes. The reason most e-bikes have monochrome is because you can't see many color displays in the sun. This one is perfectly visible, and this is on camera. It looks way better in person than it does here. They never show up on camera well. This, even if I move back to where I look at this, from my point of view, you can still see it on camera. That's rare. So already better than normal, but let's move this into a more camera-friendly location. Even here, trust me, this doesn't do it justice. What you're seeing is washed out colors due to the camera. In person, this is rich, vivid colors. Display features: the battery charge level, a speedometer, which is accurate, the pedal assist indicator. Using the control pad, you can set it to any of the 5 available pedal assist modes. And as impressive as the richness of this color display is to me, and trust me, in person, there's some true blacks back there. You don't see a lot of the washed out gray. There's something else that makes this stand out. I often talk about the little things. Instead of toggling to a 0 for no pedal assist, this bike displays an N for neutral. I think anyone that has driven a car or a motorcycle is going to find this more intuitive. Let's go over a few more basic functions. Looking low on the display, you can cycle through a few different layout settings. Along with the odometer is a trip meter, an average and max speed, even a timer. The camera doesn't do any of the colors on this display any justice except for that headlight icon, which is vivid green. Another feature that doesn't show up well on camera: the speed isn't indicated with just numbers. There's a sweeping tachometer style graphic. This 3.5-inch color display is a big deal to VanPowers, and after seeing it, I understand why they're so proud of it. It's a rarity when you're not spending $3,000 or $4,000 on an e-bike to have a large, vibrant color display like this. We're still not done. Let's revisit that rear rack and the slightly over 55-pound capacity. Legit capacity, meaning you can carry just about anything you can fit on it, like a backpack for school. No problem. Need to carry a box? What about a bigger box? What if you find a cinder block on the side of the road that you just can't live without? Seriously, this rack can carry a cinder block and still have over 15 pounds of capacity left. So I deem this rack usable, but I would use bungees for anything you put on it. I would also like to give this manual some praise, a quick mention for the full color manual that covers practically every detail of the bike. It's well done, and it's actually 2 manuals in one. The small manual, that's for the VanPowers app. Goes through everything, screen by screen. I'm going to show you a little bit of the actual app, but I won't be able to show you a lot of the cool stuff, like the ride tracking, because it shows GPS maps and so on. But there is a lot to it, even some social media features. You can change settings on the bike, get support, and so on. It's a good app. And that's my look at the VanPowers UltraGlide Standard in Lava Red. I'm impressed that they're able to offer such a premium experience at a more affordable price than I would have thought. What do you think about this bike? Comment below. Have you heard of VanPowers before? I know some of you have, because I've been asked in the past to take a look at one of their bikes. Well, here you go. Don't forget to comment. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it informative or entertaining. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching KevCentral, and have a great day.